Have you ever gotten to the end of the day and just felt like you've completely run out of time? It's a feeling we all know. But what if the solution wasn't some complicated new system, but, well, just simple math? Let's take a look at how a tiny shift in perspective can actually give you back your day.
You know that feeling, right? You get to the end of the day, you look back, and you just wonder, where did all that time go? It's like hours have just vanished into thin air. It's so frustrating. But what if there's a surprisingly simple reason for it?
And this right here, this is the whole idea. See, the problem isn't that we don't have enough time. The problem is that we lose it in these small, almost invisible gaps all throughout the day. It's a really small distinction, but once you get it, it changes everything.
So, where is all this time going? Well, that brings us to what we can call the lost time problem. And a great way to think about it is like an invisible thief. It doesn't steal huge chunks of your day at once. It's much sneakier, taking little bits here and there when you're not looking. And this is how it happens. It's not the big meetings or the long classes that drain our day. No, it's the buildup of all these tiny, unplanned moments. That 10-minute scroll through your phone, that 15 minutes you spend just waiting for something to start. On their own, they seem like nothing, but believe me, together they really add up.
Okay, so how do you fight a thief you can't even see? Well, you have to make it visible. And that's what this next part is all about. It's about finding that aha moment. It's just a simple mental switch that turns time from this abstract idea into something concrete you can actually get your hands on.
We all think about our day in this unit, right? 24 hours. We've known it our whole lives, but when you think about it, as a number, it's kind of big and abstract. It's actually really hard to plan anything effectively with a unit that large. But what if we change the scale? A day isn't just 24 hours. It's also 1,440 minutes. And all of a sudden, time feels totally different. Now you've got this huge pile of smaller, much more manageable blocks to work with. And that is the aha moment. This is exactly why it works so well. Thinking in minutes just forces you to be more precise. You can't just vaguely block out an hour to get something done. Instead, you start thinking in, say, 45 or 60-minute blocks. Your planning just naturally becomes so much more intentional.
So how can we actually use this new perspective? Well, that brings us to the math of your day. We're going to look at a couple of super simple tools for planning and tracking that don't need any complicated apps, just, basic arithmetic.
Okay, here's a fantastic example, the study block method. It's so simple. You just work with intense focus for 25 minutes, and then, and this is important, you have to take a 5-minute break. That's one 30-minute block. Now think about this. In just 2 hours, you can knock out 4 of these hyper-focused sessions. It's simple, it's sustainable, and it is incredibly effective. All right, so that's a great method for time that you've planned out. But what about the unplanned stuff? Let's talk about one of the biggest time thieves for pretty much everyone these days, that mindless scroll time.
And just so we're all on the same page here, scroll time is basically any time you spend on your phone or a computer just browsing that isn't part of a deliberate plan. It's the time that just sort of happens.
Okay, now let's do the math on this. Let's imagine you scroll for just 20 minutes, maybe 3 different times a day. Seems pretty harmless, doesn't it? But wait a minute, 20 times 3 is 60 minutes. That's a full hour every single day. Now multiply that by a week, and you have lost 7 hours. That is almost an entire workday just gone.
But here's the really good news. This math works both ways. Just like tiny bits of lost time add up to a huge negative, tiny bits of focused effort can create a massive positive. It's all about the power of consistent, small habits.
Just think about it. Carving out 30 minutes for focused effort every day, that's just one of those study blocks we talked about. It doesn't sound like much, but over a week, that adds up to 3.5 hours of solid, productive work. I mean, what could you get done with an extra 3.5 hours of focused time every single week? That's real progress.
And this is the key takeaway, really. It's not about trying to find these huge, multi-hour blocks of free time that nobody has. It's about using those small daily minutes like building blocks and using them to construct something really significant over time. That's how real, sustainable progress happens.
So, to wrap all this up, I want to leave you with a quick little challenge. Think of it as a personal experiment. It'll probably take you like 10 minutes to do, but I think the results might actually surprise you.
The challenge is super simple. For just one day, try to account for your 1,440 minutes. Just quickly jot down how much time you're spending on these key things. And be honest, okay? Especially with the screen time.
The whole goal is just to see where your minutes are actually going. I promise you are going to find some hidden pockets of time you didn't know you had. So I'll leave you with this question. Look, this isn't about becoming some kind of productivity robot. Not at all. It's about empowerment. Once you understand the simple math of your day, you can finally find that time that's been hiding from you. The only real question left is, what are you going to do with it?